Morning, y'all. Back with another one. Sorry it's been a while. We've been slam busy lately. We've just been hauling like crazy. Today we are in Nevada, in Fernley, Nevada, at the Flying J. It's about right off of 80, about 30 miles outside of Reno. We're heading to Bakersfield, California. Pretty easy load, except for the picking the machines up was a little bit of a hassle, and I'll explain here in a second. Pretty basic concept, pretty easy load. Like I said a minute ago, sorry about the sun. I'm trying to get out the sun here, and pretty easy securement. Just mainly a lot of chains and a couple of straps, but we'll show you the load and show you all it took to get secured and the issues that I had yesterday. So let's check it out. So here's the load. We got let me back up for you guys a little bit here. We got one backhoe and 2 mini excavators. Now this is the problem that we had yesterday. So these two were I have two pickups, 2 stops. So these were my first pickup, and that was my second pickup. Well, the problem was these are my first stop. That's my second stop. So these were on the front up here because I picked them up first, and I was going to try to go and get this one first, but the miles between that stop or that pick and that pick was like 4 hours away, so it didn't make any sense to go past this stop to go get that one. So I loaded these, and when we got to the next pickup, I told them the situation because it's all the same company. This company was from one company, but the company who owns this machine bought these 2 machines, and these 3 machines are going to this company's sister companies down in California, if that makes any sense. I know it might sound confusing, but when we got there, I told them the situation that I really needed to move these because I didn't want to deal with it on Monday, because having to do 2 stops on a Monday, I just didn't want to do it. So they said they would let me do it, but they wouldn't operate the machines. I had to do it myself, which is fine because I operate these machines all the time on the farm, and I also when times were slow in the county where I'm from, I operate the machines in the county and would help operate, doing ditches, whatever the case may be. So that was pretty easy for me. So I took these 2 off and put this one up front. And the way I got the front end on the top deck without any ramps is, if you're ever loading machines and you have to do this, all you got to do, if they're going to make you do it, or they don't know how to do it, or whatever the case may be, just when you come to the ramp here, or the deck, put your bucket up front on top and press down, and this has enough power where it'll lift the front end on its own, and just put it in drive and it'll slide forward, and your bucket will slide on your deck. It might put a little bit of scratches, but it won't hurt it. Slide forward until your tires are on the top deck, and you can lift your bucket and drive forward as far as you need. So it's pretty easy. So just a little hint, a little tip there if you need to do that. So on securing these, let's see if I can go on the other side so we're not facing into the sun. Pretty sunny morning today. A little bit chilly. I know some people are gonna laugh when I tell you this, but it's like 50 degrees out. But when you've been dealing with 100+ degree weather all summer and it gets down to 50, you feel like it's in the negatives. So here we go. Here's a better way. Here's the sun besides my shadow. So each of these mini excavators weigh 9,000 pounds a piece. So legally I can do 2 chains on each one, which is more than enough securement. And so the way I did it was, usually there's 2 hooks. There's one there, right here, and usually there's another one here, but this one didn't have it. And I have to secure this blade because this blade can be removed. So if you're hauling a machine and like these buckets can be taken off. The whole arm can be disassembled, and this can be disassembled. So they consider a separate entity, if that's the word, correct terminology, but I believe that's how they call it. So because this had an eyelet for a chain, I put my chain there, I ran down to here, behind this spool and up and over top. And any of you prime guys who might watch this, it's almost like how you secure air conditioners down there in Pueblo, Colorado. But you bring the chain down, and I brought it to this spool, down and up, and I put my ratchet in the middle, and it pulls the chains this way. So now it's not going anywhere. It's tight. Both sides are tight. It's not moving. So that, and I did it on both sides. So that will keep that screw from moving. And then now, and I know for sure in PA, I'm not sure about any other states. I've always done straps, but I know in PA for sure, if you have to have a bucket or you have to secure the bucket, because it's, like I said, it's because it's a separate entity, you have to secure this on its own. So I know in Pennsylvania, you can't use a strap, you have to put a chain. But I believe that's the only state that you have to put a chain, I think. Don't hold me to that, but I believe that's the case. So I just put a 2-inch strap just to hold it down. Even though I know this arm ain't gonna go nowhere, they still just want you to put something there to hold it. So I put my 2-inch strap there. I put another 2-inch strap here. Originally I put the arm back there, but trying to figure out a good way to properly secure it just didn't work out. So because it has this thumb, I just brought it back, fold the thumb down, and then put my securement on top of the thumb. Same thing with this one. I brought behind the spool up, behind the spool and up, and my ratchet in the middle. This one was a little bit more different. This one I just put a 4-inch strap over the bucket is on the ground. I fold the bucket down so it's on the ground, so it's completely on the ground, and I put a strap on it. But when I say you can disassemble it, you can see all it has these pins there. You just pull out main pin here at the swivel pin in the middle there, and pull the pins out of the hydraulics, and this whole assembly will come off. Or you can also, if you don't want to disassemble it here, they also have bolts back up in here where this whole thing, because it almost like becomes a tractor at that point. Well, this machine weighs 18,000 pounds, so this one had to have 4 independent securements. Well, what you can do, if it'll work, is you can use 1 chain but 2 binders. So now, in reality, this, because I brought the chain, I cut the chain there, brought the chain down around the spool, and I hooked the ratchet there. This, from here back to the machine, is not considered 1 chain, technically. And then I did the same thing on the other side. So this is now 2 different independent securements. Even though it's 1 chain, it's 2 independent securements. So you can do that kind of, it's a little faster way of having to pull 2 chains. Now, if the chain's long enough. If it's not long enough, you're gonna have to put 2 chains. So that's 2 securements right there. And then over here, I did the same thing. There's an eyelet up top. I hooked down, brought it down, around the spool, put the ratchet there, and it's tight also. It ain't going anywhere. On the bucket, because like I said, this bucket can be removed, this has to be secured. So I fold the bucket down like this, so it can't, because it was completely down, but there was a gap if I had the bolt folded flat. So the chain always kept backing off. So I fold the bucket down, press down, so now it can't go down any farther. So when I put that chain on it, it's tight. It hasn't moved since. I'm going to the other side here. I'm gonna show you guys something. The truck's warming up right now. So I had to do something a little bit different over here. So my chain was slightly, almost, was just a hair too short to go to the spool and back up. So what I did was I hooked the chain up there, brought it down, but then I hooked the ratchet straight to the rub rail right here against the spool. Same thing as a chain, you can do it the same way. It's the same amount of pressure on the rub rail. The rub rail can withstand it. This is legal. And then I hooked it back to the chain and did it that way, and it hasn't moved at all. And then it's my mistake, but I forgot to grab a bungee. You're supposed to bungee any of this loose chain. DOT states that they think that this can fall off the deck or hit a car. And I know it doesn't make any sense, but they say, so I gotta grab a bungee and bungee that. But all in all, it's a pretty easy load. One thing for you guys who might ever haul these things, keep your eye on your stabilizers here. These sometimes can leak down and they'll start coming out. I've been keeping an eye on these. They seem to be just fine. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, what you can do is you can run a strap from that stabilizer to this stabilizer, put a ratchet in the middle, or chain, ratchet, or strap, whatever you want to do. A 2-inch strap would be just more than, it would be plenty enough. You can wrap it around that on either side, from this one to that one over there, and tighten it up, and it'll keep them from coming out. On these have a they call this piece here the thumb. The thumb has a locking mechanism here that locks. There's a tooth up, and it locks right here, so this can't go down. So this is locked, so it can't go down. But I curled the bucket down here, so it'd be touching the deck, and then put my 4-inch strap on it. But like I said, I believe in PA, you do have to put chains on it. I know for sure 100% in PA you have to put chains on like buckets like that, but I believe that's not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's the only state that requires chains on buckets, things of that nature. And I know that this bucket isn't going to go anywhere. But all in all, that's pretty much it. Pretty easy load. Like I said, it was just a bunch of chains, a couple of straps. Whole load weighs about 36 to 37,000 pounds. One stop in Bakersfield, California, and these two come off in Bakersfield here, and this one comes off in Long Beach, California. This one is a used machine, and these two are brand new, right off the line. Delivers Monday. Today is Saturday. I'll be in Bakersfield today, doing a 34, and then delivering Monday morning, right down the road from the truck stop I'm gonna be at. But yeah, that's it, guys. Pretty easy load. Looking forward to see what I get this on Monday. Long Beach is usually a pretty good reload area for us, from where I can see on the load board. Talking to my agent, so a couple of good loads popping up. What I'm going to try to do, since it's such a hectic usually during the week, I'm going to try to post a video every weekend when it's kind of slowed down, I've got time. Because usually during the week it's just turn and burn constantly. Unless I get a reload that's just I can't help but to video it. Spin you guys around here. So that's what we'll do. I'll try to get a video every weekend and go from there. And yeah, I mean, pretty easy load, like I said. Can't complain. The only thing, I'll show you guys again. The only thing that kind of threw me for a loop is all the machines I drove when I was younger on the farm and for the county weren't as fancy as this. I mean, I know it just seems like a normal machine, but this one actually has a push start ignition. Instead of having an actual key, you actually had to push a button like a little fancy car. It kind of threw me for a loop. So that's kind of funny, but all in all, pretty easy load. Can't complain. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Hit the like button if you like the video. Like I said, any suggestions or questions you may have, you can comment, reach out to me on Facebook. Truck is doing pretty good. We finally got our Facebook and Instagram on the truck, everything else. Just reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. I can't remember what I'll try to put my Snapchat and everything in the description. But yeah, guys, pretty easy load. Hit the subscribe button if you like. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see y'all in California.